what is cycle syncing and why should you start doing it? Okay, so basically there are four parts to your cycle, and it starts with menstrual, which is when you're on your period. So that starts your cycle. And with it, you feel certain things, you should be eating certain things. And I didn't realize, I wish I'd known this a lot sooner. But I didn't realize like what foods exactly I should be eating. I mean, we always get told like don't eat too much sugar or fat when you're on your period, but that's the type of food you like crave when you're on your period. But yeah, no, apparently depending on where you are on your cycle tells you what sort of foods you should be eating, what sort of exercise you should be doing, what sort of activities in your life you should be like focused on because of your energy levels. Like I always feel rubbish when I'm on my period, but I just assumed that was because who's actually going to feel happy about being on their period? So when you're miserable, I thought it was just because of course I'm going to be miserable, my body is doing a lot, I'm feeling a lot, of course I'm going to be miserable. But it turns out that there are like reasons for why you're miserable, not just for that. And then your energy levels can dip. And I just assumed it was because I felt horrible. But so yeah, so anyway, why you should try cycle syncing. Okay, so I've been cycle syncing for about 6 months now, and I wish I had known how beneficial it was sooner. Um, Basically, all the negative things that you have um, during your cycle, um, they don't go away, but they lessen. So if you suffer cramps, you can still get the cramps, they're just not as intense. If you get sore breasts, that you can still get them, but they're not as intense. If you get headaches, again, not as intense. Um, any sort of like side effect that you get, you still get it, just not as intense. And that little bit of help that you get is just, it makes it a lot easier to cope with and deal with. So I'm going to go through what I've found out that you should be doing depending on where you are on your cycle, and let me know if you've been doing cycle syncing, because I would like to know about your experiences, because I definitely think this should be taught in schools, like for sex ed classes or health classes or whatever you call them. Definitely should be taught, because I wish I'd known this a lot sooner. Okay, so the first phase. There are four phases. There are four phases to your cycle. That was the word I was thinking of earlier. Okay, so for the first phase is your menstrual. Your cycle starts when you are menstruating. Okay, so you should be eating things like brown rice, meat, fish, lentils, eggs, nuts, fruit, um, things like that when you are on. Obviously, if you have something like a bag of crisps, it's not going to do you that much harm, but try not to pick out on it. Basically, you want to increase the good food, decrease, not cut out, decrease the bad food, and then it will help with your levels. Okay, so also fitness, right? Because you don't want to move that much, don't move that much. I always felt, especially like at school, and we did PE and we had to like run a lot or do a lot of high intensity energetic stuff, I always felt rubbish afterwards. And now I know why. Because I shouldn't have been doing that sort of high level of intensity workouts. I should have been doing something a lot nicer and low impact and just calming. So you want to do things like, if you're going to do cardio, make sure it's like low intensity cardio. Do yoga, Pilates, going for a walk, possibly riding your bike if you feel like you're going to ride your bike somewhere. So you want to do like low stuff. You want to move your body, but make it easy to do. So do not do like run a marathon or running in general, to be honest. You just want like a light cardio. Don't go running. Don't do hits or circuits or kickboxing or sports. Like if you're having to do like really intense stuff, you don't want to do it when you're on your period, because you don't have the energy. Your body is saying take it slow. So you wanna, and this I like this, because when I am on my period, I do tend to just want to become a vegetable and not move for the first 3 days. So it's nice that you've got this ease just to do a bit of movement. You could try Tai Chi even, that's a good one. Tai Chi, just getting your body moving but being relaxed. So I do like yoga and going for a walk. Those are the two main things that I do when I'm on my period. If I'm going to do some sort of movement, which I do try to do. So definitely the walking. And yeah, I have introduced yoga and it has made a difference. So then also, because of your low energy, you don't want to be going out and doing all kinds of crazy things like during the work day or at home, whatever it is you're doing, school day, whatever. You want to make sure you're in a calm environment. You want to do things like meditation and journaling. You don't want to be going out socializing. I mean, you can. I'm not saying you can't, but you sort of want to rearrange your plans to fit your cycle more. That way you're enjoying it more, because I have gone out when I'm on my period and I feel like shit and I don't have a good time. Whereas if I said, oh, can we meet next week when my energy's up, I would have enjoyed it so much more. So yeah, it's just figuring out where you are on your cycle and then planning to fit it, and it does make a difference. Okay, so then you go into your second phase, which is your follicular phase. And there you want to have leafy green veg, broccoli, nuts, olive oil, and fish, as well as fruit and other veg, but these are like the main things that you want to like focus your meal planning on. And now, because you're not on your period, this is the second week of your cycle, you have more energy. So this is the time to do the more energetic things. This is where you plan all your errands. This is where you do the intense workouts, the lifting, the hits, the circuits, the boxing, the running, whatever it is you do. You've got the energy now to actually go and do it. So go out and do it. Also, this is the time for planning, trying new things, and socializing, because your energy levels are higher than they were a week ago. So this is the time to like fully embrace the high energy. And then your third phase is your ovulation. So this is where you're still having energy. So you want to focus on eggs, kale, tomatoes, fruit, leafy green veg, and whole grains. And still with the workouts, energetic stuff, hit, circuit, cycling, boxing, whatever it is that you like doing. And then again, planning, socializing, errands. These 2 weeks are the time to really go out and do it, because the next phase, the last phase, is when you're going to start to slow down, because you know your energies are dipping in time for this first phase to start all over again. So in the fourth phase, you want to focus on lentils, spinach, brown rice, meat, fish, and fruit. And this is the time where you start to focus on yoga, walking, Pilates maybe, low intensity workouts, and do what's right for you. And then this is the time to start prepping and making sure that you are ready for your phases to all start all over again and your cycle begins, because then you're not going to be in the mood to start, oh, I've got a meal plan and meal prep, and oh, I've got that meeting. You're not going to want to do that when you're phase 1 again and your cycle starts. You're not going to want to do that. So you want to make sure that you have planned in advance. And obviously, everyone's different, and some menstrual cycles last longer than others, some are shorter than others. You just got to figure out what fits for you, what phase you're in. Also, there are apps now that tell you all sorts of things. There are books and blog posts. I found some Pinterest pins, and I was like, okay, what's this all about? And that's how I really found about cycle syncing, because I had heard about it, but I was like, well, what is it, kind of thing. I thought it was more about birth control. I thought it was like, know where you are in your cycle, so you know when it's like safe for you, kind of thing. But no, it's more than that. So yeah, I hope this video was informative. I hope that it's something that you're interested in, and I hope that if you do give it a try, you'll let me know how you get on, because I actually did find this beneficial. I wish I knew about it sooner. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.